I want to begin, though, with a conservative radio host who calls the Zimmerman trial a sideshow. Larry Elder is the host of The Larry Elder Show on KABC and also the author of Dear Father, Dear Son, and he joins me now. Larry Elder, welcome to you.
Welcome. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
You've been pretty scathing about my interview with Rachel Jeantel. Why?
I was, because you weren't doing her any favors by condescendingly trying to convince her that she's a victim. This is a young lady who didn't apply herself, a 19-year-old who's still in high school. Instead of saying, young lady, take this as an opportunity to take stock of your life, you treated her like she was a victim. And that's how you're doing this whole thing about race and racism. 7,000 murders last year, Pierce, of black people. Almost all of those were committed by black people. Since Trayvon Martin has his unfortunate death, there have been 480 blacks killed in Chicago alone. 75% of those crimes have been unsolved. Where are the cameras? Where are the shows? It's outrageous to act as if Black America should fear some non-black guy stalking some black kid at night. The likelihood of a black person being killed by a non-black person is extremely remote, which is why this became a big national issue in the first place, Pierce.
Right. It's perfectly possible, as we have shown on this show many times, to be just as exercised by what is happening in Chicago, which is an absolute national disgrace to America, frankly, in terms of the outlandish.
But you're not, Pierce.
No, but I am.
There's 7,000 murders last year.
I don't think you watched my show, Larry.
Wait a minute.
I don't think you watched my show.
Half of the murders in this country are committed by black people, even though black people are 12% of the population, which means 6% of the population is committing almost half the murders. And you throw out the old people and the young people, Pierce, you're talking about 3% of the population committing almost 50% of the murders.
Fine.
This is why commonsensical people
Larry,
profile.
if you just calm down for a moment, Larry, here's the point I was going to make.
I'm quite calm. I'm just bothered by how you're handling all of this, making blacks feel as if they're under siege. It's nonsense. It's nonsense.
Larry,
you're a liberal guy, bleeding heart liberal person. You think you're doing something for black people. You're not. You're making black people feel as if they're under siege. And it's not true. It's an outrage.
Thank you, Larry. If I could just get a word in, that would be great. Sure. Here's my point. I completely agree with everything you're saying about Chicago. All right, let's just get that on the table. I've been saying this repeatedly on this show. It's a disgrace what's happening in Chicago, particularly with all these young black teenagers killing other young black teenagers. And the president and people down have to deal with it. But let's get back to the Zimmerman trial. Let's get back to my interview with Rachel Jeantel, because you tweeted some ridiculous things. You tweeted at one stage, would I like Rachel Jeantel to fly my plane? Why would you say that? I'll tell you why I said that, Pierce. I'll tell you why I said that. Because after you interviewed her, you condescendingly went on television the next morning and called her one smart cookie. Bull. Why don't you hire her as a nanny? Let's see how smart she is. It's a condescending kind of thing that a lot of white people say to black people. I think you're stupid for saying that kind of thing to try to get black people That wasn't my question.
That race and racism
do you think Rachel Jeantel is
when it doesn't?
Do you
racism
think she's
stupid,
Larry?
Racism is not a major problem in America anymore, Pierce. Racism is not a major problem in America anymore. The number one problem facing black people are the large number of black people born outside of wedlock. 75%. In 1960, 5% of all people in this country were born outside of wedlock. Fast forward, Pierce, the number now is 43%. You look at that for crime, dropouts, all that kind of stuff is connected. The other big problem facing black America, Pierce, is the economy. 1 in 2 black men does not have a job. And one of the heads of the Congressional Black Caucus once said, if a white person were in the White House, we'd be marching on the place because of the high unemployment. But we're talking about Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman as if it's the number one problem facing black America. It isn't even remotely on the top 10 list.
Okay, Larry, this isn't a sort of competition to see who can be the greatest filibuster in my show's history.
I'm not trying to filibuster. I'm just trying to make some common sense. I'm not hearing on your show.
Yo, what's up, world? It's your boy Flochko, a.k.a. Philco, a.k.a. Phil, a.k.a. Yonyaga in the building. In Russia, actually. Don't ask why. I lost a bet. But anyway, right now, I want to get to a video, and I want you to be honest with me. If you're a black person, black American, and you're watching this video, I want to know something. And be honest. If you were a non-black person, and you heard these statistics about black people, do you think it would make you a little racist? Do you think you would profile black people a little more? Do you think your racism would be justified? Just by listening to those statistics that a black man gave. That I see these statistics everywhere and I try to speak on it, but no one really cares or tries to listen to it. Would you be racist? Well, what's interesting about these statistics is that they're very scary. They're very scary. You know, a lot of people talk about George Zimmermans and police officers who, yeah, and I mean, these people are bad, but they're nowhere near the big problem in the black communities. They're nowhere near, and I'm tired of George Zimmerman getting so much attention. I tried my best to avoid making anything dealing with this guy because I believe, hey, ignore people. If you don't want them to be anybody, this guy's becoming famous, he's getting money because he's getting all this attention. People just aren't ignoring him. You just gotta ignore this dude. Trust me, ignore this dude, or kick his ass, but ignore this dude so he just go away and he'll stop being in the public eye. But the media actually loves him. The media has always loved him. Some of them praise him, some of them hate him, but you know, he'll probably never need a job again. You know, he'll always find someone who'll support him. But anyway, honestly, dudes, George Zimmerman and all that stuff, they're the least of our problems in the black community. We have humongous problems. One is we're killing each other. We are killing each other like crazy. Like there's no tomorrow. We are killing each other. And the fact that we're killing each other so much goes back to other things that I spoke about. Like about our culture being crap. Now, if our culture wasn't crap, how could the 12% be doing all of this? How can the 12% be doing all of this? How? You know what I mean? How? That's crazy. That is just crazy. The statistic this guy gave, if they're anywhere near true, that is crazy. Now, I know a lot of people want to say, oh, it's the government, it's the man, this, and that, this, and that. But come on, look. What I notice here is, black people, we know we have fucked up stereotypes. We know we have fucked up communities on average. And we know we don't know how to save money for shit. We're always exporting money out of the community. But whenever someone brings it up to you, that person, especially if that person's black, that person's a knuckle Tom. If a white person brings it up to you, that person's racist. If a Chinese person brings it up to you, it's like, mind your business, you're Chinese. Or something like that. It's like whenever it's brought up, the average black person will bring up a reason not to bring it up, a reason not to speak about it. You know what I mean? There's always some reason like, oh, you're racist or you're Uncle Tom. And it's just immature. Now, everyone wants to know my opinion on the George Zimmerman trial shit, you know, Trayvon Martin stuff. I always kind of try to avoiding that, but I guess I'll get to it. First of all, I wasn't there and I don't really know what happened. One person says this thing, another person says that thing, one person says this thing. Only thing I know that seems pretty evident is that a young man who was unarmed was killed. Now, why was he there? I don't know. But considering these statistics, just think logically for a second. Now, I'm not saying in any way that he should have killed him. I'm not saying that he should have shot him. Dude could have shot in the air or shot at his foot or something. I mean, there's many ways to scare somebody with a gun. You don't have to actually shoot him. You have a gun. You don't even have to shoot people all the time when you have a gun. You can scare the fuck out of them with a gun. That's all you need. That's why most people get robbed with guns and don't get shot. The guy just shows the gun and gets the job done. But anyway, where was I going? Oh, what do I think of it? Now, what was he doing there? We're not sure. Only thing we know is that an unarmed black guy was killed by some non-black guy. I don't know what the hell he is. Half Mexican, half white, whatever. But should Zimmerman go to jail? I feel, yes, he should go to jail. He should go to jail for some time. I don't think anyone should be able to follow someone, kill them, and then not go to jail at all. That's just weird. You're not a police officer. That's just weird. I mean, seriously, let's just look at the worst case scenario. Let's say Trayvon Martin was a thug. He was a thug, and he's walking around looking for a house to break into. He's a thug. He's walking around the house, got his hoodie on. Let's just say. And so Zimmerman sees him, is like, oh, I'm tired of shit. Starts following him. They almost get into a scuffle, and he kills him. Even with that, George Zimmerman should have went to jail. He's not a police officer. He's not. Now, unfortunately, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the law like that. Maybe, according to the law, Zimmerman was in the right. But what I'm saying is just being logical and looking at it. He shouldn't have killed this young man. But at the same time, because of the statistics and the negative ass stereotypes we have of our people that we perpetuate on ourselves because we're the ones committing these crimes and world star hip hop, can you fully blame him for following Trayvon? Really? Can you fully blame him for following? Now, I'm not saying you can't blame him for killing him. I'm not talking about the killing. I'm talking about the following and suspecting him of doing something. You know, that's how we work as humans. We stereotype all the time. Profiling is natural for everybody. If you don't know how to profile, you're likely to fucking die. You're more likely to die if you don't know how to profile. Animals profile. That looks like a predator, I'm fucking out of here. That looks like a nice animal, I'm gonna hang out next to him. Everyone fucking profiles. Now, not all, you can even find videos of lions hanging out with deer and shit. What video was that? A lion befriended like I think it was a baby impala or something. Now, maybe this one lion didn't like the taste of impala. He liked eating buffalo or something. But that impala should profile the fucking lion because he's going to think the lion's going to fucking eat him. It's highly likely that the lion's going to eat him. Now, if you live in a country where it's highly likely that a black person's going to kill you, like 50% chance of dying from murder, if you're black especially, is from a black person. 50% of the time from a black person. Well, actually, no, that's not right. 50% of all the murders are from a black person. So if you hear 50% of the murders are from 12% of the population, are you not more likely to stereotype or profile these people? And ooh, I got an even better one for you. I got a better one. Let's pretend these statistics were, the black statistics weren't for black people, they were of Muslims. They were of the Muslims in America. Now imagine how much anti-Islamic shit would be going on. Imagine if those murders were terrorist attacks. So half of all the murders in America, like gun violence, were done by Muslims due to terrorism or whatever. Imagine that. Wouldn't that be the biggest outrage ever? Wouldn't everybody just be pissed off? Why aren't they so pissed off about half the murders in the country being done by black people? Coming from a fucked up background, fucked up families, fucked up culture, world star. Why is it not so upsetting? Why do we have to ignore it? And if we speak on it, we seem like we're Uncle Toms or we're racist. Why is that, man? And I mean, at the same time, how can you blame someone for saying, be careful, don't go to black neighborhoods? Or how can you blame someone for telling their daughter, I don't want you with a black guy? How can you fully blame them? And of course you're gonna say, not all. But it's too many. It's too many. There's a lot of fucked up shit going on in the black community and it's fucking disgusting. And then you wanna be mad at everybody who's a little bit racist or who stereotypes a little bit? Now, first of all, everyone deserves to be treated with respect, regardless of what neighborhood you're from and what race you are, yes. But for instance, if I were to find out some guy told his daughter he doesn't want his daughter with a black guy because odds are that black guy is not gonna be trustworthy or a good guy, I cannot be fully mad at him. I can't be fully mad at him, but if he goes out and starts shooting black people because he doesn't like what's going on in their communities, then he should get stabbed in the face. But that's not what we're talking about. I'm basically talking about if a person were to stereotype black people in a way in which that black person is not directly affected. So let's say, like if a guy were to be outside, a police officer were to see a black guy walking by, he heard there was a murder, he arrests a black guy, it has to be him. That's different than whether he's just, he wants to go find criminals, right? He wants to go find criminals. And so he needs to get his arrest up. He needs to get his arresting up for the month, gotta get a certain amount of rest. If he says to his partner, and it's secretly recorded, I think I'm gonna go to the black area because there's more crime over there and I'll probably find someone committing a crime or something. It's more likely me finding a criminal in the black area than in the white area. How can you be mad at him? Just based on statistics, how can you be mad at him on that? And y'all know a lot of our neighborhoods are messed up, and y'all know it. Y'all know. It's not me just saying it, you guys know it. But you don't like talking about it. People don't like talking about it. People don't like talking about how even though black men usually leave their children, the women are fucked up in the head, have babies, all these different guys, and we have no family structure. People don't like talking about it. But just from the statistics that this guy gave, it's just horrible. It's horrible. So I would never blame anyone for saying something like, I don't want to move to a black neighborhood. I'll never blame anyone for saying that. I can't be fully mad at a parent. Like, I was dating this one Chinese girl, and her mother is this racist to you, basically? Here, listen to this. Her mother told her that she would prefer for her to date a white or Asian guy. She didn't really want her to be with a Hispanic or especially a black guy. She hoped not. She would rather she be with a white or Chinese guy. And you know what? To be honest, I understood what she meant. I totally understood what she meant. Now, of course, she has a black boyfriend now, and her mother, I guess, accepts it. Of course, she's not too happy, but she accepts it. She's just saying what she prefers. It's not just based on statistics, probably. It's probably based on things she sees. It's what she's seeing when she's outside. how they dress, how they talk, how they behave. I mean, we really reflect each other. Our behavior, we really reflect each other. And the statistics reflecting that we're fucking up as a people. And so we're so quick to jump on George Zimmermans and police officers. We should jump on each other just as much as we jump on George Zimmerman, just as much as we jump on police officers, just as much as we should be jumping on World Star, but we're not. It's like soon as a white person kills a black person, it's a travesty. Soon as a black person kills a black person, it's normal, as the Russians would say. It's normal for us. And that shouldn't be normal. That shouldn't be normal at all. And for you people saying most crime, white crime is committed by white people, that is how it's supposed to be, you ignorant fuck. Most white people who kill, most of the murderers of white victims are white people. That's how it should be. And most of the murderers with black victims are black people, which is how it should be. But the problem is when it comes to black on white crime, there's much more black on white crime than there's white on black crime. That is a problem. That is a problem. And when it comes to overall murders, we're about half of them. We commit about half of them. 12% of the population. You take out all that other shit he said 3% committing about half the murders, and those are all black people? I don't know, man. I think we need to step our game up, but it doesn't look like anybody wants to bother. Everybody just wants to blame the system. Nobody wants to start inside, which is the smart thing to do. If you start inside, it would be brilliant. Start inside. Stop looking only trying to blame the system or some bullshit. Start your own system. Start inside. Step one, coming together. Let's step one. How do we make step one happen? Give me your ideas in your comments. How do we get step one? All black people come together. And when I say black, fuck everybody. I mean just black people right now. I mean descendants of slaves. People with naturally nappy hair. Those black people. Because those seem like they were the slaves that came here. Whenever I see images of slaves, or when they show the countries where slaves come from, they ain't those exotic Africans with straight, all this hair that everyone talks about. When I say black people have nappy hair, like, oh, some Africans, stop giving it 1% and exaggerating it. I'm talking about the vast majority. The vast majority of us have naturally nappy hair. Stop the bitching. Am I the only one who likes the fact that we're the only ones that get naturally nappy hair? Am I the only one who likes that? It makes us unique. So stop talking shit about it and keep it. So the slaves, black people in America who are descendants of slaves, the vast majority of us who are black have naturally nappy hair. Don't tell me about that tribe. Oh shit. Don't tell me about that tribe somewhere in East Africa. I don't want to hear about that tribe. I don't want to hear about those people from from Northeast Africa who may have straight or curly hair. I'm talking about the descendants of slaves here in America, and we have nappy hair. Okay? Don't cry about it. Be about it. It's life. So, us people, we really need to come together. We really need to start wearing afros or something again like we did in the 70s to show our blackness. And we need to come together, start respecting each other, and come up with a system. We need a leader. We need to be able to trust each other. We need to be able to feel that when we go to a black neighborhood, it's like, oh man, I'm safe. You know, that's how we should feel, man. That's how I feel in Russia. If I'm around a bunch of black people, it's like, oh, awesome, sweet, black people, nothing's gonna happen. When I'm in America, I'm in some black area I don't know. How do most people react? Oh shit, these niggas better not start wilding. And it shouldn't be like that, especially from a black person. Especially a black person. A black person shouldn't have to feel like that in a black neighborhood, but a lot of us do. And that's basically it, people. Let's step our game up. Later.